Here we go. Hey, hey, it's Make It Make Sense Mary here at Stop Playing Studios with Poison Ivory. We're so glad to have her tonight. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks
Wonderful.
for having me.
Absolutely, of course. So we've been trying to get together for quite a while now. You're in LA, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm West Coastin' all the way.
Awesome. So I actually was able to visit LA for the first time a few weeks ago and loved it. It was beautiful there. It was so nice.
Oh, well, that's dope. You
Yeah,
got to come back again. There's so much to explore out here.
I know. I can
Besides
imagine.
LA, California is just a beautiful, rich place.
Yeah, and the weather, like it was so nice. Like I'm in San Antonio, as you know, and it is so hot here. I'm from Virginia, so it's just like a totally different type of
Yeah,
heat.
that's night and day.
Yeah, super, super nice. But yeah, so let's dive right in. So checked you out on YouTube, checked you out on Instagram, checked you out all over the place. I love your style, not only of music, but just you in general. Like I love
Oh,
your look.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
Of course, of course. So, what kind of got you started in music? And I know the visual piece of your music is very important too. So, what kind of got you
Indeed.
started, and how that all kind of come together to land you here?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to share. Well, what got me started was definitely my upbringing in gospel music, and that's because of my dad. So my dad's a retired minister. He had a homeless ministry for 15 years, and my mom did ministry as well. I'm a minister's kid. Um, and when I was a kid, my dad was a deacon at first, and we grew up in church, and we grew up around gospel music, and specifically like a Baptist church is where I grew up, and then it kind of like transitioned into non-denomination, like if anybody knows what that is, anyways.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, I'm
but
aware. Yeah,
yeah, some people don't. But long story short, it would definitely be church. Church was the seed, and praise music, and then that somehow segued into me being in a gospel group as a kid, um, with in a group called All God's Children, which was like signed by Lou Adler. I encourage people to Google him. He's a legend and an icon. And then that kind of went into me singing pop music and R&B, and then I ended up signing with Ryan Leslie. I was signed to him for a couple years, and then went on to release my own project, and that's Poison Ivory, my EP, The Filth. And it's been quite an adventure. And I'm just always exploring and trying to become a better version of myself,
yeah.
and an artist and all of those things.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. I really do. You're very creative. Like that picture of you, or I think it's a video of you like dancing on the piano in the desert was just like epic. The colorful piano. That's so sweet. Do you play any instruments? Do you
I
do?
do.
Okay, what do you play?
Yeah. So my main instrument is the guitar, and I play a little bit of keys. I write a lot of my music from scratch. For years, I used to just hop behind like a microphone and just do what most people would call gibberish and just freestyle.
Mhm.
And that was something that I really learned from Ryan Leslie. I learned that from being signed to him, and just songwriting for other people for many years. So I would have to say my main instruments are the guitar, my voice, and my songwriting.
Nice.
Another superpower that I have, that you mentioned earlier, is my art, my painting, and my illustrating. So I illustrate and I do character designs. And I have designed myself as a character. I figured, you know what, man, I kind of see myself in a very silly, cartoony way. I don't really take myself too seriously. I feel like, in life, you can either choose to laugh or you can choose to cry, and I'd rather laugh. So I kind of poke
Absolutely.
fun at myself, and everything is satirical when it comes to my art, even my EP, The Filth. If you look at all my music videos and anything that's affiliated with that, my music video Mr. Wonderful, I literally look like a clown. Like I look like a fly ass clown.
Is
So
that the
I
one in the
just
laundromat?
That's the one in the
Yeah,
laundromat.
that one was
So
sweet. I
that's
like
just
that a lot.
everything's a satire. I want to make people smile. I want to make them think. I want to make them laugh. I want to challenge them. and it challenges myself and it helps me heal in some kind of way. So, it's my way of paying it forward, I guess.
Awesome. That's awesome. So besides music and everything that you mentioned, do you have any other like hobbies that you enjoy? What else do you do like during your spare time, or if you even have any spare time? I'm sure you're a very busy
I
person.
try, I really, gosh, man, do I try to have some spare time. Sometimes I have to force myself to uh, sit the fuck down,
Right.
and I will go to the mountains, I'll go to the beach. I love nature. Um, I love, I believe in self healing. I'm a cancer survivor, by the way. So I'm all into, you know, self healing and self care and all of those things. I think they're incredibly important. And just being as authentic as you possibly can to yourself in every moment.
Absolutely. And I saw that and I was like, wow, this chick seems like she has gone through and made it through a lot. And you are a survivor, though, like you said, and that's awesome. So, even more the reason to have that, awesome attitude that you have and that awesome outlook on life. Because, like you said, you can either cry or laugh, and laughing sounds a whole lot
Right.
better than, feeling all sad all the time for sure. So, that's awesome. But what is your favorite part about creating your music and just like the overall process? Like, how does that make you feel? Like, I like to talk about mental health. I'm not sure if you know that, but I always plug that in one way, shape, or form. So it's like when you're having a day where maybe you're a little down or things aren't going your way or whatever, like, how do you kind of spin that around, and how does that go into your creative process?
That's a really good question. Yeah, it definitely goes into my creative process. I think that human emotion and wherever you're at in your life can either hinder you, it can block you creatively, or it can propel you towards something. I've written music. There was a point when I was experiencing a very dark time in my life and a lot of heartbreak, and I wrote nothing but sad, heartbreaking music,
Mm,
and it was all acoustic, and I might still release some of that stuff. And that definitely inspired me and allowed me to be able to get those emotions out. So creating is so divine. It's such a divine outlet for all of us. We've all heard a million times, you hear people always like preaching about manifesting and stuff like that, which I
mm,
do believe in. But and sometimes it can get kind of redundant, but at the same time there is truth to it. And you know understanding that we're all creators is, I think, very important and key, because if we stay kind of locked in one place of consciousness, if like
mm,
you're really sad and you stay in that space, and it's just, we're creatures of habit, we repeat, we're creatures of repetition. We'll
mm,
literally like repeat that same thing over and over and over and over again, and then it's just like it's like hardware, it's in
yeah.
our brains, and it can be really difficult. So I have such a big heart when it comes to people struggling with mental illnesses, because we live in a society where there are things that induce that
Mhm.
and bring it out of us, and all we can do is try our very best to not go astray from the path,
Right.
and if we do, be gentle with ourselves and forgive ourselves and be patient and kind to ourselves and try to get back on.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're like giving me
uh,
chills. This is stuff that I like think about and talk about all the time. And
I
like you
mean, we
said,
live
yeah,
it every
right.
day, all of us,
Exactly.
you
Exactly. And
know?
being a creator, I'm around a lot of artists, producers, just creators in general. And it's so funny how we're all different, but we're all the same. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
always have just a million ideas and a million things that we want to do running through our head. And, if we get to that weird point, that could just destroy everything that we've built. You know what I mean? If we don't find a way to shake ourselves out of that weird mode. And like you said, what comes out of your mouth really makes a difference. You have to speak positively. You have to speak positively about yourself and make sure that you're not, throwing those negative vibes out into the universe, for lack of better terms, even though we all
Yeah.
have our moments, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, for real. One thing that, and I guess this is just for any creative listening in, if you are creating music and you are creating a project and you have dreams of this is for somebody, whoever's out there, you have dreams of making it big. You are not going to find fulfillment in making it big. So make sure that while you're doing the work towards your dreams, you
mhm,
are also doing the work towards yourself and your
absolutely.
mind and your healing and your character, because all of those little ugly demons, they pop up. They pop up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who uh their demons are present even now, and we in our society worships them, and that's a kind of a weird narcissistic thing that we do.
Mhm.
But even they, like, sometimes are on the brink of, like, not even sometimes, are on the brink of complete self-sabotage.
Mhm.
And it's a scary thing because self-sabotage can come in so many forms, and it's usually and always actually from undealt with trauma.
Mhm.
So, just make sure that you don't do things out of fear, and you're doing it out of a knowing. If it's from fear, then it's probably not going to be right. And it probably won't work out because fear just, you don't get good motivation and energetic propelling, I guess is the word I'm looking. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but
Right. No, you're making sense. I'm
yeah,
following.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to, it has to come from a grounded place. So just keep working on yourself.
For
You're
sure.
not, the fulfillment is it's in the small things, man.
Absolutely. I say that
It's
all
in
the
the
time. People,
team that you build. It's in the loyalty that you found
yeah.
with the team that
Absolutely.
you build. People who actually care about you. If you don't feel like people are right, then then that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta do the right thing towards your team too. That's another thing.
Absolutely.
Teamwork is super key.
Absolutely. Well, you
Super
picked
key.
so many good gems. Oh my gosh. Like you said, somebody out there listening and needed that and took all of that in. That's absolutely, you said so much.
Somebody out there, who knows?
Definitely, definitely. Somebody. So, so question, what has been your favorite venue that you performed at? And tell us a little bit about that. And do you have anything coming up? Any live performance
Yeah, I do.
shows or anything? What's going on?
I have something coming up in September. So here's the thing is I don't have an exact date, but I'm
Mhm.
working on my project right now, and I'm doing something really cool where I'm combining my music and my illustrations. I'm animating my own music video. So I'm pretty fucking stoked about that.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
And yeah, this has been like years in the making as far as like this music is concerned. So that's kind of in the works. As far as like a release date and all the other things, that's still in the works. And performances are always happening. If you go to poisonivorymusic.com, you can sign up. You can also go to my Facebook. My show dates are on there as well.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, there was another question in there. I'm sorry. There
Oh
was
no,
like a
you're
couple
fine. You're
questions.
fine. Oh yeah. No, what was your, I know I'm like doing combo questions and I keeping you on your toes and stuff.
I'm like, I
What,
got this. Psh, psh.
right. What's one of your favorite venues that you performed at? I believe was the
Oh yeah, my favorite venue so far has been let's see. Indoor venue would be um hold on, give me a second. I
oh,
don't
this
know
is
why it's not coming to my mind right now. The Nokia Center in New York. That
nice.
was the coolest, one of the coolest experiences I've ever had performing in an indoor venue. There was like over 5,000 people, and they were singing my music, and I was just blown away. They
I bet
knew
that's
every lyric, and I couldn't believe it. That was really amazing. Another, let's see. The House of Blues. That's what I was trying to think of. The House of Blues is another indoor venue that was really amazing. And that was the one that was off of Sunset. It was like a historical landmark, and they tore it down. And I got to perform there before they tore it down. And it was packed. And it was like one of the best shows I've ever had. It was so electric. And I also got a piece of the ceiling, because the ceiling was like this cool looking Moroccan quilt, and like people like Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and like all of our favorites have performed there. So the energy is just in it. It's so dope.
Right, that's awesome.
It's amazing. I have yet to do. I've done some outdoor venues before for like festivals and stuff, but the ones that are on like my vision board, I haven't done yet. Like the Red Rocks. Like I really want to do the Red Rocks. You know, I'd love to do like a sold out world tour one day, someday. So, you know, I'm working towards it.
Well, you're doing well. You are heading in that direction. Like you are.
Hey, received. Yeah. Amen. Claim.
Sure. So look, let me ask you this. Let me circle back real quick. Oh gosh, you just said something. I can't remember. I lost my train of thought. Well, let's go with this. Do you prefer, or is like the inside venue more your thing, or outside, or it doesn't really matter? Like you just,
it doesn't matter. It's the people. Yeah, it's all about the energy of the people, and you know, when you go into a place and as a performer or just entertainer in general, and you know, this thing starts to happen where you you know, you can have your set list, but you kind of like there's an exchange with the audience, and you gauge you know, what they're about. And when the energy is there, it doesn't matter if it's indoor or outdoor. It's magical, and it's my favorite thing in the whole world. It's the best high. It's better than anything. It's great. And it's just like a refresh button for your soul. It's like you went to a tropical island in a hot spring, and you know, in less than 4 hours.
Right. I can imagine. And you know what? It just came back to me. When you say vision board, do you have an actual vision board that you like put your eyes on and really put
I'm a big dreamer. I always have been since I was a kid. And you know, when I was a little kid, I used to like my teacher would give me like math assignments. My math teacher would. I'd be in like elementary school, and I would just see these storyboards in my mind, and I would draw them all over my math assignment. And you know, out of sheer innocence, hand it back to the math teacher. I wasn't trying to piss off the math teacher, but the math teacher hated me. So because the math teacher was like, obviously you're not paying attention and you don't care. And I didn't, but you know, I've always dreamed big. I've always had a big imagination, and I would write music to go with what I would draw. And that was just such a big part of my creating music too. Like I literally would write music and envision like these characters singing the music, and sometimes I was that character. So I guess my life is like a weird fucked up musical. I don't know.
I could probably say mine is too. That's hilarious. Like, I think all of us too, as creators, have a little bit of like, we don't really give a fuck in us, you know, when we're in school and stuff, and we do things like that. Like you said, not trying to purposely piss the teacher off, but that's just like where our minds are going. You know,
we're kids.
Exactly. But I have really enjoyed this time. I'm so glad that we got to get together. One more time, tell us all where we can find you. Give us all your social media, everything. Where can we find you?
Thank you so much, Marianne. My social media is the Ivory Oddity is my Instagram. Facebook, you can literally just look up Poison Ivory as a band. It's the first one that pops up, or you can look up the Queen Ivory. I wish I could change it, but I can't. PoisonIvoryMusic.com has all of my links. Just go to PoisonIvoryMusic.com and click on my social links, and it'll take you wherever you need to go. I'm on Twitter as well, the Ivory Oddity. So, and an oddity, you know, hold on, before we leave, we're going to look up the definition of an oddity, because this is important. A strange or peculiar person, thing, or trait. And I think that we're all kind of oddities, and we all have superpowers. find out what yours is and master it.
I love it. Beautiful. I'm glad you did that. That was a perfect little touch. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. Well, I need you to do one thing before we go, right? So as you know, I'm MiMsM, right?
Meow.
Meow. So this is Icy. He is the only penguin
Aw.
that can fly, and he is a stop playing penguin. And before we go, off of every interview, we always need you guys to repeat after us. So
Okay.
say something and repeat after me. Meow,
Okay.
meow, meow.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
That was it. That was it. Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
That's what I'm talking about. Poison Ivory. Yeah. Put it on a remix. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody stop playing. Y'all know what time it is. And peace for now. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.